In this lesson, we are going to learn how to pass arguments into our navigator. We may want to do this when we would like to use a data from current screen to different screen. For example, in a shopping mall app, when user taps an item from a product list page, we need to send the information about the items to the detail page. This can be done by using the arguments property in our navigator. We can also receive the arguments from the destination end and use it. Now, let's get started. Today we will learn how to pass arguments to a named route. Often, when the page is turned over, passing the data used on the existing screen is necessary. The most desirable way is to use a state management package that can manage this effectively, but we will learn about this in the next course. Then, how should we deliver our data? If we use navigator push instead of named route, we can write arguments directly inside the page as we did when we created custom widgets. But named routes may not know how to move the page using string values. The solution is to use arguments properties within the navigator push named function. Let's learn by looking at this code. First, we make a class for arguments separately. In this example, let's the named class arguments. In the class, we set the variables we want to send as arguments: title, color, and font size, and make the constructors of this variable. Generate a button from the first page, practice named route to the second page. When using the navigator push name function, pass arguments together with parameters. For example, the title is set to Hello World. The color is light blue accent, and the font size is set to 15. Now, call the argument property to the constructor and hand it over. Let's try running this code. First of all, there is one button in the center. We will set up the second page. On the page where we receive the argument, we have to use arguments in modal route settings to set the type as argument, so make sure to add as arguments. We can use this args variable to load argument values. Now let's create one container and use our received arguments as values. Create a text widget with the container's child widget and enter the args title as the value. The character size is also set to args font size. Set the desired delivered color by putting args color in the color property. Now, let's look at this results screen and make sure all arguments are delivered. It can be seen on the screen that all the values of arguments specified on the initial page are applied to the container of the second page. So the first is Hello World, and the color is light blue accent, and the font size is 15. In addition, let's set height and width value for arguments. First, add height and width as double types to the arguments class and set it in the constructor. Then on the first page, we have to change the arguments so that it passes the width and height together. So this is the width and height. Let's try running this code again. As you can see, the container got bigger because the width and height are 200. Now, practice this for yourself in Dartpad or locally and see the different results and outputs. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.